right? So, oh wait, shoot, my bad. All right, we got going on. We got some. We're gonna react to a little bit of Asian. You know what I'm saying, the most deadly bugs that only eat blood. I'm gonna be eating some food, so I'm gonna have my cam off for a minute. But after this, we're gonna watch. We're gonna get to some Life is Strange, bro. So let's get into it, bro.
His blood. Is 1,000 mosquito eggs, and in just a couple days, they're going to hatch into 1,000 actual flying mosquitoes that I'm going to be doing the most interesting experiments with, like feeding them a pool of blood. Anyways, right now, the mosquito eggs we have are dormant, but all they need to hatch is a bit of water. The second
I ain't gonna lie, this is mad loud, bro.
dry mosquito egg touches water, the embryos inside absorb it and basically come to life. And literally within only a few minutes of adding in the water, check out this area right here. A tiny little white speck started to poke out from the top of this single egg. Everyone, this is a mosquito larva.
Oh, I should probably change my title.
You can probably tell why they're called wigglers based on how much they wiggle, but over the next few days, this will eat food and literally evolve into a fully grown mosquito. It will actually be one of the craziest things you'll ever see. Oh, but yeah, I almost forgot. We don't just have one, we have 1,000 mosquitoes that we're gonna be raising, and only a minute later, another wiggler started to wiggle out.
I'm an animal guy. Okay, I love most animals. I believe I'm not a vegan or nothing like that. I don't love animals.
I should probably mute my mic too. So I
I
definitely
don't
will.
agree with genocide. Let's just start there. Except when it has to do with mosquitoes. I don't give a
That's
fuck what it
facts.
does to the ecosystem. I wish we could eviscerate every one of these niggas, bro. I wish we could genocide every mosquito on the planet. I do. I don't give a fuck what animals die as a result. I don't give a fuck what the fall off is. I don't care if we lose half the planet. I just think that these are the worst little creatures on Earth. They're not like other bugs, bro. They're the worst. They're the worst of the worst.
They
First of
don't
all, they
deserve to
kill
be here, bro.
bears.
They don't belong here, bro.
Mad annoying. Okay. And third of all, you itching yourself 24/7. They're relentless. These little are fucking relentless, bro.
Then another. Soon enough, this tank was starting to get overrun with our new pets. I have to be so careful in this video. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. Literally 1,000 mosquito larvae are right here. But if we want them to turn into real mosquitoes, there's a couple things we gotta do to speed up their growth process. Of course, starting with feeding them. And I don't even know what these things eat. I mean, they're practically microscopic at this stage. Yeah. I mean, I guess let me just search, what do mosquito larvae eat? Enter. And it looks like they eat microscopic organic matter. Oh, I actually have an idea of how I
He said he left the lid
This is
off.
fish food. Yeah, not super special, but for when the larvae are this small, it works perfectly to crush up into tiny little pieces. And immediately after dropping in some of this crushed food, it sank down to the bottom for the larvae to start eating. Since the larvae were just born about an hour ago, they're still so unbelievably small that it's just so hard to see, but you can kind of make out the shape of its mouth if you look very closely right here. It's insane how there's a brain and actual life in something this tiny. Anyways, you can see they tried to eat most of this food, but it's still a bit big. So once it dissolves into the water, it'll become even easier for these guys to eat it. But things get fun quickly, because these wigglers more than double in size every 24 hours. So I have a feeling if we come back tomorrow, these guys are going to be a lot bigger. Good morning, Terra Greeners. I just woke up. The mosquitoes are probably bigger now. I haven't really checked though. Let me look. Wait, I haven't even zoomed in yet, and wait, you can literally see. Oh my gosh. Yeah, if you can't tell by this footage, the larvae are so much bigger now. And when I turned on my camera to record them in detail, I was amazed by how much they grew literally overnight. The day before, this was the
that is
most
nasty,
zoomed in
bro.
footage I could
That's
get of
nasty,
these
bro.
guys. But now the larvae almost filled up the entire frame, and look at how much more detailed they are. This black bulb at the bottom is their heads, and they're so big already, we can make out their mouth a lot easier, and we can even see their tiny little eyes. These guys are so cool, because you can literally see how their mouth works as a little boat motor essentially, and they can just use it to slowly drift among the water surface. Sometimes they'll even curl up and start sucking up microscopic food particles from the surface. Okay, well this video is all about doing the funnest experiments with the mosquitoes, so next up, I want to test their light instincts. Because if you didn't know, adult flying mosquitoes are insanely attracted to light. I mean, they'll just swarm light at night. But I was wondering if that instinct starts when they are babies. Well, to figure it out, I turned off all the lights in my garage and watched what they did. Pretty quickly, the larvae actually started to rise to the surface way more. If you remember, most of the larvae were spending most of their time together, sort of near the bottom of the tanks when the lights were on. But yeah, with the lights off, they all like to be on the surface, apparently. Okay, that's pretty interesting. But now, what I want to do is take this super bright studio light and...
Pussy American saying ill? Where are you from, Breezy? Do they love mosquitoes where you're at, my nigga? We're not looking at an adorable cheetah, okay? This is not.
Yeah, no, bro. Nah, bro.
This is
Nah,
not.
bro.
We're not looking at a puppy.
I'll at least turn it on when I have to say something, but
This is a fucking disgusting, shitty mosquito, bro. What?
bro, y'all know, bro. Y'all know, just coming in, bro. You just came back in the house late at night. You walk back outside, know what I'm saying? Chilling with your friends in the garage. That next morning, bro, you wake up, scratching all night, bro. It's in front of mosquitoes, man. Watch out for them, bro.
Do you love them where you're at? For real? Do you guys celebrate this animal? Ugh. That must be a bot chatter, bro.
And position it pointing right at the side of the enclosure. So that way we can turn it on. There we go. And we can see what they do. Yeah, let's see. And literally the second after turning on this light, like magic, the larvae started to migrate away from it. And they all started to gather up on the right side as far away from the light as possible. Wait, so these guys are moving away from the light. Huh, that's interesting. The fully grown mosquitoes, they'll completely swarm light. But when they're larvae, they will completely avoid it. So to confirm my theory, I turned off this light and moved it over to the right side. And immediately, the larvae did exactly what I thought they would, and they went back to the left side. Since I could kind of control where they were, I thought it'd be funny to kind of just swap the lights on and off on each side and,
niggas,
you know, make them do some exercise. Listen, okay, I gotta train some strong, capable mosquitoes for when I put them up against a pile of blood. It's gonna be so interesting. Dang, that is actually so cool to watch how they do that. And apparently they do this because they don't want to get eaten by fish, of course, and if they're in the darkness, then it's obviously harder for the fishes to see them. But actually, very interestingly, while I was doing that last test, if I go and stir the floor around like that and zoom in, you can see there's tons of what almost looks like just dead mosquito larvae that is just drifting around in the water. Now, I got worried for a second. I thought something was going around killing all the mosquitoes, but don't worry. I actually figured out that these are not dead mosquito larvae. You see, what these are actually the old skin of our current larvae. You see, these guys apparently shed off their old skin 4 times before becoming a flying mosquito. Basically, just like how other animals will molt their skin off when it's time to grow bigger. So of course, now that I know that, for the next experiment, I gotta see if I can capture on camera a shot of them molting. Basically, what I'm gonna do is go and move my lights back to the, the back of the enclosure. And basically, that's gonna cause all the larvae to go and swim to the front. And then I can just leave my camera running for like 24 hours, and surely I could capture at least one of these guys molting to get that shot for you guys. And so yeah, I recorded this for like 2 hours, and after thoroughly reviewing all of the footage, none of the larvae actually shed their skin, unfortunately. But obviously, I was not gonna give up. So I spent hours actively recording with my camera, watching every single larvae at the water surface. Apparently, they only molt out their skin when they're hanging upside down from the top, and after about 2 hours, I found this larva. You can tell he was about to molt by the fact that he was hanging upside down for a pretty long time without moving, and every now and then, he would try and twitch to squeeze out of his old skin. If you look very closely right here, you can see his old skin starting to slide up and off, and this white part right here is his new skin underneath. But after watching this guy for like another hour, all of a sudden, he just started to float down, and he fell all the way to the floor and completely stopped moving. Yeah, apparently the molting process is actually really grueling for mosquitoes, and there's a chance that they can use all their energy while doing it and die, which...
That's what I'm talking about. Fatality, nigga. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Yes! 1 mosquito down, bro.
I guess just happened to this guy. Rest in peace, bro. But of course, this was not gonna stop me because I kept recording for longer and longer until I eventually caught this footage. Keep in mind, this is literally the first footage on the internet of a mosquito larvae molting because of how hard it is to catch. So you can't complain about how trash this footage quality is. But anyways, you can see it started to shake violently and it started to slide out of its old skin. This dark part is his new skin. And eventually he was able to fully slide out and only his molt was left behind. It's so cool to watch this happen, and after it does, the new larvae swims away and leaves the old skin behind, which that skin will probably get eaten by another larvae very soon for some protein.
Let's go. I'm so happy we just got to see that. But in fact, I just spent so long trying to get that shot that almost all of our larvae now are pretty much fully grown, meaning yes, we're about to have 1,000 mosquitoes hatching in just a matter of days. And
So
about
fun.
that, it would be extremely illegal and just really bad if a mosquito escaped, let alone 1,000 mosquitoes. So I have a feeling it's time we build some sort of containment system.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, I had this big tank sitting in my garage, which would actually be a perfect fit to put over our current tank. So when the mosquitoes hatch, they won't be able to just fly away. But obviously, there's a big opening on the bottom, which
Yeah.
would be bad if we had to move this. All the mosquitoes would get out. So what I did was put our current tank in here while the big one was sideways. And then I got this piece of clear acrylic that I'm going to be able to attach to the front.
And when I attach this piece of acrylic, it's gonna make sure no mosquitoes can get out. But you're probably wondering why I got all these massive holes right here. Well, what I'm gonna do is this, and as you can see, I just put mesh in each of the corners so, you know, air can get in. But I left this hole open in the middle so I can put a little door.
God, that's fire. Yo, that's fire. Like, he could really close that last hole and suffocate all 1,000. That's fire. Like, them niggas literally just being able to fly and dying of suffocation is fire, bro.
Over here, so we'll be able to put stuff in, but mosquitoes won't be able to get out.
It's pretty simple to make though, because all we gotta do is attach this little sleeve contraption I made and put a clamp on the end.
Basically how it works is if you want to put your arm inside, you go ahead and take off the safety clamp like that. And basically what you do is while you're holding it still,
Nah, are y'all doing this?
carefully stretch your arm
Are y'all doing this?
inside, and then boom, when it's around
1,000 mosquitoes. Are y'all putting your arm in there? I'm not, bro. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
your arm, it's very airtight, and you can go ahead and put your arm inside.
Ever.
You see, I have access
Bro,
to
to
here,
have
and the
mad
mosquitoes won't be able to get
mosquito
out. And it's very easy to go and take my arm out, keep it shut, and then I can go and put the clamp back on.
And after I had my dad silicone the acrylic on, boom, this containment system is done. But guys, there's actually something I didn't tell you about these mosquitoes. In their life cycles, there's a whole nother stage of life before becoming mosquitoes that lasts about a day. And when I came back the next day to my tank, I noticed they were already entering it.
Oh my gosh, guys, look at what I just saw. Take a look at the larvae in here. You see these little circular things swimming around next to the actual larvae? Those are the pupae, and that means they're about to hatch.
You see, these pupae are also called tumblers because, well, they tumble down when they sense potential danger nearby. But the coolest thing is how these guys look. They got these weird, scary-looking eyes. They got little horns that act as snorkels for oxygen. And of course, they look way different from a larva with that cool shrimp-shaped body. And if you're wondering how it looks when a larva turns into a pupae, well, this awesome footage from Backyard Bugs shows it. Basically, the skin splits at the thorax area, and very similarly to how the larvae molt, the new pupae will slide out, and yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yes, sir. These guys are so cool. But
just
we haven't
kill
even
'em
got
all,
to see
bro.
the coolest part, where they literally crawl out the pupae, and it's like an alien movie. It's crazy. But yeah, I don't think that shot's gonna be too hard to get, because we're on like day 8, and check what has just started to hatch. Yep, that is a mosquito, meaning there's like 3
fucking
mosquitoes
huge,
in here
bro.
right now, so it shouldn't be long till we have much, much more.
You see, the pupae get darker and darker as they get closer to turning into a mosquito. So since this pupae is bright white, I know he won't be hatching anytime soon, but these pupae here are extremely dark, meaning the mosquito is right under that skin, ready to crawl out.
So to make the shot even easier to get, I'm gonna suck all the darkest pupae up into this little pipette and put them in this container to make it easier to record.
Now, since the mosquitoes have already started to hatch, I actually had to use the door I made to get my hand inside
made
so they
you wanna
wouldn't
do this
escape,
though,
and I
man?
used my little pipette to
All
start
the
sucking
insects.
up as many of the dark pupae as I
What
could.
happened to
Then I
the
put them
cricket
into a
feeding and
temporary
stuff, man?
container, and I started to film. Thankfully, the pupae hatched within only a few hours of turning black, so it was literally only about an hour of recording till I caught this on camera. Out of nowhere, this pupa here started to straighten out its tail. This makes a little tunnel here for the head of the mosquito to start squeezing out. It's so nasty, but you can see how this area here just keeps inflating. The mosquito is literally
Yeah, that's
growing
nasty,
in
bro.
front of our eyes, and
That's
the mosquito is
disgusting.
leaving the clear pupa skin behind.
That's
All of a sudden,
disgusting.
his little mouth pops out here that
Literally
they use to suck
disgusting.
blood, and
how
soon
did they go
after,
from
you can see
That's
his
disgusting, bro.
pops out as well.
I ain't
Oh
no, man.
my gosh, guys,
I
this
ain't
is
these
Alright,
niggas
Jack.
could fly. They
insane.
would be
Like, it's
less of a
happening
threat. It's
right
the fact
now.
that they could fly, man.
Finally, The legs stop
Oh, it
sticking to the
pops up on
body.
stream
Bada
like that,
bing,
bro.
bada
This is
boom.
boring. It's
That's how a
lame. I think it
mosquito is
does.
born. They'll basically stand here for like half an hour while they wait for their body and wings to harden up.
Unfortunately, I am not allowed to just
We'll see.
let this guy fly out. Yeah, when you hatch mosquitoes in your house, it is just illegal to let them escape. So I'm gonna try and move them into this tank, but if I can't do it, I do
just kill
this
them.
here.
But thankfully,
okay.
I didn't have to use that since it was super easy to just grab it with tweezers
Yo.
and let it loose in the containment system. W mosquitoes, bro. That was one of the coolest things I've.
Hell no, nigga. It's never been, never will be W mosquitoes. It's always L mosquitoes, man. All right, it's not like ants. Ants are a little bit annoying, okay? Especially if you're a dirty nigga, you got ants in your house. No,
Dang, bro.
you made a mistake, whatever. Getting rid of them is a bitch. Facts, all right?
Yo,
It's an
is my
ant hill,
screen
it's not
like?
a big deal. Red
Is
ant,
my screen
purple ant's
nightlight?
cool, but
Like, is it normal? Is
ants
it like a
always
shady
have
yellow kind
integrity,
of?
bro.
Because I put my
Alright?
nightlight on for my eyes.
Ants all work for the queen. They're little slaves. Every ant you see is a little slave just trying to do his job. Ants are mad powerful and strong for their weight. Their strength to weight
I know
ratio.
what that's
They're
combo,
interesting.
bro.
They're adorable. They made a movie
I don't know
called
about that
Bugs Life
combo.
about these niggas, okay?
It's a tiny
These
bit yellow. Oh,
mosquitoes,
it does
man,
work like that
there's
then.
no
Okay.
appeal to them at all. Oh, just kill them all,
I didn't know it
man.
did that on
Well,
stream.
guys, it's been another few days, and I'm proud to say we have
Yeah, look.
100 plus.
It's called nightlight. But I'm not talking about my webcam being a little yellow. I'm talking about the screen. You know what, bro? I should have just looked on my phone. No, bro. I used to have a Spider-Man nightlight, bro. It used to like pop up circular on my ceiling. Oh, bro, no, it doesn't, bro. Oh. You thought webcam?
I mean,
I'm
we
an
got
idiot too,
tons
bro.
of flying around. We got even more just sitting
You good?
all over the glass, and that's not even to mention all the
I don't
mosquitoes
know,
just
bro. Like it's
hanging
getting 7. I don't know if
Now I can test
I'm
these
gonna
guys
finish
with my
my
last 2 mosquito experiments, starting with sticking my hand
Life is Strange,
inside of
bro.
the tank of
That's not an
mosquitoes.
So in
experiment,
addition
bro.
to my hand going in there, I've
Bro, this
also
nigga
got
has
a
a
couple
mosquito
kinds
king.
of mosquito repellent.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
gonna
we
do
can test
something.
if these things actually work. I am definitely about to get bit.
So I started to apply the first mosquito repellent to my arm by spraying it. You see, mosquitoes are insanely attracted to the scent and heat of human skin, but somehow the spray stuff completely blocks all of those and messes with the mosquito senses.
Theoretically, when I stick
you
my
are
hand in there,
drenched,
I
bro.
shouldn't
If
get
they
bit.
still attack you, that shit is
I'm being
scam.
cord.
And
All
as
right.
I stuck my hand in, I got
I'm gonna probably join. I don't know. I don't know if I want to
mosquito
save the
bites.
episode.
Oh,
Now I'm
they're
playing it
flying
today. I don't
very
care.
close,
I'm
but
playing it
yeah,
today.
I don't think they can even sense that this is a hand right now.
Yeah, I literally left my hand in there another 30 seconds, and not a single mosquito.
I'll join when
even
I finish the
landed on me.
episode
When normally they would definitely
Life
be
is
swarming
Strange.
it.
Dang, this stuff works good. If you need some mosquito repellent, I recommend this
Adam,
brand. It's not
yeah.
sponsored or anything, but it's pretty good. But now the second mosquito repellent I want to test. Well, you see this app right here? This app claims to literally make a sound that will repel mosquitoes. Oh, you hear that? It's like a high-pitched buzz. Okay, well, let's see if this works.
Hold
Now,
on.
I've
So
heard
you
these
swear?
apps are myths, but as I put my hand inside, the mosquitoes weren't instantly swarming it. In fact, they were acting kind of similar to earlier when I was testing the spray stuff, even though I had thoroughly washed it all off my hand. Maybe these apps actually do work. That was until I found this when I took my hand out.
Okay, for a second, I thought this app actually worked. So let me turn off this ear-piercing sound. But then I realized I actually got bit, like, right there. I can definitely feel it. It's starting to itch and stuff. Don't use these apps, guys. I can assure you they are fake, but I guess this stuff kind of does work.
Anyways, now it's time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Mosquitoes
This is my first time hearing
versus
about that.
blood.
And yes, I actually have a jar of blood from a cow. Oh my gosh.
Now, in order to make this have a chance to work,
Look,
That's nasty, bro.
I'm not saying something is fishy's going on, but I'm just saying whoever's selling cow blood should be investigated. That's all I'm saying, bro.
That's nasty,
it.
bro.
I'm not saying they're guilty of something, but is deserving of an investigation.
I had to fill up this little container with a bunch of blood, and then I put some saran wrap on top. This way, the mosquitoes could stick their
Nasty,
little
bro.
mouthpiece through it and get filled up with blood if they're
No gloves or
Finally, I just
nothing
warmed it up in the
either.
microwave so it would recreate the temperature
In your
of the
home
mosquitoes.
microwave, bro.
Let's see what these mosquitoes do. Now, for the first like 20 minutes, minutes, pretty much none of the 100 mosquitoes were
Disgusting,
interested.
bro.
They were kind of just hiding around and not moving much, so I kept trying tons of new stuff, like dimming the lights, because apparently mosquitoes don't like to eat under the bright light, and after trying so much stuff and recording for hours, not a singular mosquito tried to eat this blood. In this cool footage, you can see mosquitoes literally only take a couple seconds to land on an arm and get completely filled up with blood. But for some reason, they only like to drink blood from arms and not just liquid blood, apparently, like we have here. Literally all the mosquitoes had gathered up on the other side of the enclosure to avoid it.
Yeah, I literally just tried to record this for 2 days. None of the mosquitoes were
mosquitoes
interested.
not
I didn't want to
bite
have to
cows
not
and
upload the
shit?
video just because the last experiment failed. The whole point of the channel is to get crazy animal ideas and see if they're actually possible. Unfortunately, this one wasn't.
So they only hate
all
us?
the other experiments were, and we got to learn all about the mosquito life cycle, which was just so interesting to watch.
Death to all mosquitoes, man. Death to all mosquitoes. Death to all mosquitoes. Death to all mosquitoes, bro. That's how the fuck I feel, man. Couldn't give less a fuck about these little niggas, man. Good video, though, Terra Green. Good video, bro.
My bad, Chen. I'm instigating. All right, let's go. Let's go, bro. Y'all know what time it is, bro. Y'all know what time it is, bro. It is time for Life is Strange, bro. It is time for Life is Strange.